Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I got a particular question about setting or pairing the rate of a Leslie style tone with the expression pedal. A Leslie tone is basically a tone that has uh, either a rotary effect in there or a modulation effect that behaves like a rotary effect. So rotary effects is more of like two speakers facing the opposite direction to each other, but they are rotating. A perfect example of such effect is how the B3 keyboard sounds. When the speed of the speakers are adjusted, they have this kind of feel that they give. So here's a sample of the sound. Now to create something similar, the question was in line with assigning the speed or the rate of a modulation effect to the expression pedal. And that is what I'm going to explain or show you how to go about it in this video. So this is my clean presets. This is how it sounds like. So that is how my preset sounds like. And to have that pairing or that sort of feeling of a Leslie style tone, you can use any modulation effect. But if you want something uh, that is close to the B3, you should use something like either this particular vibrato or the rotary effects that's in the Valeton GP200. So over here, I'm going to use the jets for this particular demonstration. But the concept is still can be applied to any of the blocks or any of the effects in the Valeton GP200. So it's not only limited to the rigs. You can do it with the decks. You can also do it with the sustain of the compressor. You simply have to choose and then set it up. So with the defaults jets, or let me say modulation effects that I have selected, this is how it sounds like. By default, each preset has the expression pedal modifying just the volume. So you see, as I move my expression pedal, it's changing the values of the volume. So to assign the rate, or let me say the speed, to the volume 1, you have to make sure the sync is off, unless you're looking for a time signature based sort of something. But if you're going with the frequencies, you have to turn the sync off. The next is to also turn off the volume block so that your effects or your guitar signal will just pass through the expression pedal without it affecting it, because when you push it all the way to the heel, it means no signal will pass through, so that we can set our speed all the way from the minimum to the maximum. So I'll click the gear icon on the patch settings and then click EXP setting. Now, when you open this particular menu, you would see two EXPs, EXP1 and then EXP2. EXP1 is the default expression pedal that comes with the Valeton GP200. EXP2 is an external pedal that can be connected to the EXP ports of the Valeton GP200. So I'll show you how to work around both of them. Let's work on the internal expression pedal. So there are different parameters, and by default, the first parameter of each preset is handling the volume of the preset. You can go to the second parameter, which is the para 2, and then click this, and then go through the list. If you select an effect whose name is tremolo, you would see tremolo over here after you hover over the mod block. So basically, because I chose B-jets, that's why you see B-jets here. If you chose chorus, you will see chorus over here. So do not get confused if you are trying to do with a different effect and you see something different over here. So I'm trying to affect the rate. So I'll click the rate and instantly it sets the minimum rate value and then the maximum rate value. Now the maximum is 10 hertz. The minimum is 0.1 hertz. So I can click this to turn it off. I would reduce my volume for game stage's sake. So this is how it sounds like with the expressive pedal all the way to the heel. Now I would push all the way to the toe. So while I'm playing, I can modify. So now that we've been able to assign the rate to the inbuilt expression pedal, let's look at how to assign the rate to an external pedal if we have one. So you don't necessarily have to do all the two, but in a situation where you have two expression pedals and you want the internal expression pedal to handle only the body of the preset and then the external pedal handling the rate of the modulation effects. So with this, you have to click the spanner icon over here. You have to make sure your EXP2 mode is set to EXT. When it is at EXP, it treats anything that is connected to the EXP ports in front of the Valeton GP200 as an expression pedal. When you select single FS, it would treat it as just a single button that can turn on and turn off effects. So you can modify stuff over here, but that's not the scope of this tutorial. If it's dual FS, it's treated as two buttons connected to the expression ports. So you have to make sure it is at EXP. Now, when you have that set, you can come over and click the patch settings again, and then go to EXP setting, and then EXP2, and then the para 1. You can scroll all the way down to the rates and it would assign itself beautifully. So basically that's how to go about it. So now that we have been able to seek to find a nice rate, you can have beautiful tones like this. So I'm going to turn on my delay. When I add an overdrive pedal, it could sound like this. So this is a very quick tutorial about how to modify certain parameters of the Valeton GP200's signal chain effects without necessarily bending down. And you can do this beautifully with the expression pedal. Let me throw in one bonus tip. When you click the gear icon, for you to see what is actually happening, click the quick access parameter. And then I suggest you assign the rate of the effect to the first parameter so that you can see it on the board as you are changing the values. So something like this. So as it happens that way, you get a gist of where you are, and if you feel moving your feet or the expression pedal give you a weird value, you can quickly bend down and then turn the first knob or any knob that you assign it to, and it would get to the point that you want, and then you can use it for your live gig situations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you next time.